waiting to go to dinner with my wife. Thought I'd shoot a quick video about the homework assignment that we'll look at on Tuesday morning. Um, but that's not it. Here it is, World War One and the effect on the economy. And you want to, basically look at what happens after the war. Some things go on during the war you could mention, but after the war, the question is asked: who's in charge, conservatives or liberals? And I'll tell you right now, it's the conservatives. The Republicans take over the White House with President Harding, and it's a pro-business time. They use the phrase "return to normalcy," which should be mentioned in your homework, to come to power. And they use also the Red Scare to try and suppress a lot of very progressive or ultra-left movements. So that should be looked at too for your paper, because it's a time of stress on society. The war was a very stressful time. Young men dying, everyone sacrificing for the war, and when societies are under stress, things can happen. And if you look at some of the things going on today, there are some societies under stress. Southern Europe, for one, has economic problems. Italy, for one, because they have such a high unemployment rate right now. So there's this rise of a protest movement because a lot of Italians are disillusioned. Society is very much under stress. So they picked this gentleman out here who's a comic, basically. And he has got a lot of political power now. And he's ranting and raving against the political system in Italy. People are reaching out for something different. If you look at Greece, actually, it's a little scarier because the far right, which is very nationalist, anti-immigrant in Greece, it's called the Golden. What are they called? There should be down here. What is that name of that group? It's Golden something. Golden Dawn. Thank you. Right here. They're a little scary because they will beat people up. They're more violent. But they're getting a lot of the popular vote in Greece. People, society under stress, and people go to these extreme causes. Same thing will happen after World War I in Germany. Germany is wrecked by the Treaty of Versailles. Basically, at the end of the war, this treaty where Germany accepts responsibility for being the bad guy, and they have to pay reparations. And it just causes the German economy to collapse. And then the Germans will also look for something extreme, and they find, an evil system, fascism. So there is changes in the United States too, but again, not quite as radical as what happens in Germany, of course. It's more of a pro-business era. It's the Roaring '20s, and it's a time of racial intolerance. Is that all a part of the effect of the war? Take a look at the textbook. Read about the Red Scare and Harding's return to normalcy. Poor Mr. President Harding does not last too long, though. He gets ousted in a scandal. And a really boring, quiet President Calvin Coolidge comes in, a Vermont farmer. They're always stoic people, those Vermont farmers. I hate to be prejudiced. But take a look at the textbooks. Got any questions, just email me.